All right, let's talk about Drake Maye and how he played for the New England Patriots in his, I want to say, kind of first preseason game. Technically, he played in one earlier already, but that was a weird game. It was raining and he barely got any playing time. So, really, this is our first chance to see a lot of him. And we saw, I think, mostly good from him. I have some nitpicks that we will get into, but yeah, let's just get into the film and talk about, everything that happened. Let's start off with the play you see on the screen. So it's going to be a zone coverage concept, and you see the route that Maye is going to look towards, and for a good reason, right? Definitely could get into a gap in coverage. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Maye is going to take the snap, and he is going to look in that direction, and right here is when the receiver that he wants to throw to is beginning to cut, right? He's about to cut more towards the bottom of the screen, so for Maye, this is right around when he's going to want to make his throw. You really have to make your decision kind of right now. For Maye, at this point, if he were to kind of hold on to the ball for a little bit longer or wait to make his decision until he sees his receiver is open, you're just not going to have enough time at that point. You kind of have to decide, okay, I want to make this throw or I don't want to make this throw. But I think him making this throw makes sense, as the receiver, when he cuts, will have, a nice angle. So that's what Maye does. He fires it accurately, and they're able to pick up a nice completion there on a 3rd down and 5 and pick up the first down. So, well-timed play, really good stuff, understanding the situation. All of this, I would say, very good. Something like this is interesting, so this is still going to be on his first drive. It's a 3rd down and 7, so again, every preseason you're going to see some of these types of plays. Cover 1 man blitz, actually, so it's a pure one-on-one matchup on the outside. A lot of times the defenses want to see what they have in their corners, right? This is a great way to do that. So Drake Maye looks over, he sees the one-on-one matchup. Is this open? Not really, but it's a one-on-one matchup down the field. Who knows? Maybe you could even get a touchdown by throwing it down the field, or at least get close to, get inside the 10, potentially, if not the touchdown. So Maye's going to take the chance. He fires it down the field, and to me, this is a pretty good ball. Like, it doesn't get complete, but I like where he put that. That was a catchable, about as catchable as you could ask for right there. So again, you can't just look at, was it complete or was it incomplete? There's more to it than just that, and I think this was good by Maye. So again, this is the difference sometimes in perception. If, this pass is caught, well, that gives him an extra, 25 yards. Let's just say it's a touchdown. You get a 30-yard touchdown. That just boosts the stats, right? So that's definitely, something that can always change perception, even if it, had nothing to do with the throw itself. This one is another example of what I'm talking about, where it's going to essentially become a one-on-one matchup. I know there's a safety in the area, but he is going to kind of go more towards the middle of the field, so it'll turn into a one-on-one matchup. So, okay, well, let's see what happens. Maye is going to take the snap. Play takes a little bit to develop, but he navigates the pocket well, is going to make a throw, and you see there's a window. It's not like the biggest window you'll ever see, but it's a window. I mean, this is definitely an opportunity for Drake Maye and for the New England Patriots. And so for Maye, I mean, we all know about his big arm. Well, your big arm doesn't mean anything if you miss. So can he hit on this throw? Again, you're going to see, I mean, yeah, that's a beautiful throw. It wasn't caught, but that's a beautiful throw. That's exactly what you're asking for out of Drake Maye. These are highlight reel level plays that unfortunately are going to be left on the cutting room floor due to no fault of Maye's. But again, when we evaluate Maye's play, I think we should be bringing them up. As for negatives, I've noticed this a little bit now with Drake Maye in the NFL. I didn't notice it to be a huge issue in college. I don't remember it being a huge issue. Perhaps if I go back and watch more, I will see it there. But I've noticed some slight misses. Not horrible misses, but something like this. It's 2nd down and 11. They're just trying to gain 5 yards or so on this play, get in better field goal range, but also hopefully make it easier to convert the 3rd down. Maye is going to look in that direction. He fires quickly, which that's good. Get the ball out of your hands, quickly get it over. And you see how this throw, it's a bit high. The receiver's having to go up to make the play. And that might not seem like it's that big of a deal, but you have to also keep in mind the situation. Philadelphia Eagles players are behind this receiver, so he can't just sit there and make the catch. He has to also be aware of getting crushed, right as he turns around. Obviously, they've taken away just getting crushed the second you touch the ball due to the defenseless receiver rule. rule, which is nice, but it still doesn't mean, you still have to pay attention to those guys, right? So because of this, you really want this throw lower. You'd want this maybe even below the numbers, but really at the highest at the numbers. It got away from him a little bit. It did. Because of that, this ball is incomplete. And again, if you're a Drake Maye super fan, you're going to sit here and say, oh, well, that, hit the receiver in the hands. You got to catch that. Okay, fine. But again, it's all a numbers thing, right? The reality is, if he throws 100 of those passes, less are going to be caught than if he throws 100 right at the numbers. That's just the reality of the situation. But you can blame the receiver. Sure, that's also a fair thing to do. But again, I noticed these a few times. Something you want to see him clean up. We also saw some mobility from Maye, some designed runs, some non-designed runs. This is a designed run. It's a 3rd down and goal situation. And, there is a bit of a meta extra advantage in this type of situation where it's the preseason, so defenses are definitely not expecting the young rookie quarterback to be, putting himself in a position where he could take a hit. But hey, you want to get him used to all kinds of NFL plays, not just passing plays. So the way this is going to work, they're going to fake as though it's a handoff up the middle. You see the kind of 2 players blocking off the edge. But then Maye will keep it himself, run in that direction. That's the way this play is designed to work on a 3rd down and goal. So Maye takes the snap, he looks over, and you see a couple of Philadelphia players could get over and maybe make a play. That is something that could happen. So because of that, this is no guaranteed score. But one of those Eagles players actually got a little confused and took another step in. The other just wasn't able to get over to Maye because Maye was fast enough to get the touchdown. So again, these are plays that will be in the playbook that just weren't when Tom Brady was there, right? And really weren't when Mac Jones was there for the most part. So having someone who does have the mobility that Drake Maye has, it's really good, and it is something that will be a benefit, I would say. So yeah, those are mostly my thoughts on this performance. Like I said, a couple of, not perfect throws, but even the throws that I thought weren't great were catchable, so that's good. It's not like he's missing, by a mile or anything like that. I think one of them even was caught, so, there is something to that. And like I said, I think that the numbers do not tell the full story because that's just kind of how it works, right? The reality is I'm sure there are going to be people who just look at the box score after this and say, oh, okay, I guess it wasn't that great then. But again, there's a lot more to football than just box scores, and a quarterback can only influence a box score so much. There's a lot else that goes into it than just that. I think that you definitely saw the, the athletic upside for sure. I do think there are still some things he has to work on, which is, of course, expected given the fact that he is a rookie quarterback. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on all of this. Should mention before I go, I do have a movie channel. If you like movies, like watching movies, it's Jackson Kruger Movies. The link is in the description below for that. Check that out if you're interested. And let me know in the comments below what were your thoughts on Drake Maye. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.